Hi, I'm Chrissy Stonebraker-Martinez. I'm the co-director of the Inter-Religious Task Force on Central America and Colombia, based in Cleveland, Ohio. And I'm a queer Latina and proud to be partnered with Refugee and Immigration Ministries in the Disciples of Christ Church. And I just want you all to know, whoever's watching this, especially our legislators, we have been suffering when we lose our community members. And so in Ohio, there's a man who works with an amazing organization called Ola Ohio, and had been in the community for more than 20 years. He was recently deported to back to Mexico after being in the United States for more than 20 years, and being someone who was really trying to support his community and to find grace and welcome in his community as well from people. And when he was deported, there were many people who were fearing for his safety, and actually just a couple of weeks ago he was murdered in Mexico. And we tried so hard, especially Ola and the community in Northeast Ohio, to stop his deportation, because we knew that this might be the outcome. The chances of folks who are deported, especially minors who are deported back to Mexico and other places in Central America, especially in the Northern Triangle, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, and now in Nicaragua, those places are places where people don't have a great chance, if they've been deported from the United States, to survive. Their rates of homicide are very, very high. And it just means so much to our community when we're able to really support refugees fleeing crises. Right now in Nicaragua, more than 600 people, some reports say, have been murdered since April. And the media from the US and all over the world actually has had a lot of conflicting accounts about where that violence is coming from. But for me, as a person of faith, I don't care where the violence is coming from. All I want is to stop that violence and to end that violence. And similarly, more than 40 people who are civilian human rights leaders have been murdered in Honduras since their election in November, specifically related to saying that they just want a democracy, a true democracy. Hundreds of people have been killed in Colombia this year, even though the peace accords in Colombia with the FARC and the government were signed in late 2016. We've seen that the homicide rate has increased rather than gone down. And so it's just important to me and to, I know many people in my faith community, to just be supportive of ending violence of all forms, and especially taking responsibility for what our purchasing, what our politicians or the people who represent us, what our policies have done to either cause or exacerbate these issues. And so I pray that the God of all creation, of all beings, of all living things, of the earth, of the sky, of the water, that the God of the divine creation, we together will be inspired by that God to find welcome and safety for all people, just as we sought for Jesus and Mary and Joseph. And so today, God, please give us the grace and the strength. I implore you to support resettling a mere 75,000 refugees this year. Those 75,000 refugees need your support. And we know that that is a small fraction of millions of people who are displaced around the world. 7 million in Colombia, 6 million internally displaced people in Syria. And then there are many more outside of those countries who are just looking for refuge. And so I hope that you will be inspired to welcome more.